So welcome to our call today. Appreciate everybody coming. We get quite a few people on this call. Love it. Michael, thank you. Appreciate it. You guys can hear me. So like I said, this is going to be our very last training call for our country call. We'll have one more in 2 weeks, but it will just be some fun Christmas, and we'll see if we can get Tom Sr. to do the Santa Claus for Australia, which is a lot of fun. But this will be the last one, and then we'll roll out our 2020 calendar. And doesn't that sound so weird, 2020? I mean, just so fun. And it's here, and we got a lot of things coming for that. So I want to congratulate everybody who won the lotions. Those have all been sent out. Everyone, the pamper packs, the lotion. There's one person that we have not been able to find an address to, but I've sent a message to them and just waiting back on that. But if you are one of those winners, then just keep waiting and you'll receive those. That was a lot of fun. And the lotion has been so popular. So I've been getting the numbers on that. You guys absolutely love it. It's gone across well. We've just done the Tahitian vanilla here in the US, so super popular there. So it's great. So Michael is saying 2020 vision for 2020, and I agree. It's going to be an exciting time for us here in Australia. Got a lot of great things going on. So we do have a new promo going on. I don't know if you've seen it, but this is a fun one, and this is a sponsoring promo. When you personally sponsor 3 distributors with a minimum of 150 PV, then you get $75 in product credit. So you can do that several times throughout the month. But again, when you personally sponsor 3 distributors with a minimum of 150 PV, then you get $75 in product. So that's for the month of December. So a fun promo. And Vicky says, loving the lotion. Yep, I love it too. Love it. We do have a March tour coming, and for sure it will be myself coming. I may drag along Tom Mower Sr. So he's going to be my buddy for the year on a few trips, but for sure I'm coming. We're working on those dates. We've been working with them on the council and then a few people at corporate, and I believe in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to have a tour for you guys. We're just kind of looking at the cities. We're having some growth in some different areas than we've had before, so kind of looking at where to go. It's an exciting time. We've got some fun things. I think Tom Sr. will talk to you today. Besides the product that he's going to talk to you about, some things in the future that I think that tour will be focused on quite a bit. So super exciting. But just know, stay in tune, and we'll update you on the March tour for Australia. So super fun for that. Now, one thing we've been working on, we were going to talk about weight loss today, but Tom Sr., he's talked about a product he's been working on, and boy, is it amazing. And the product that he's going to talk about today is just such a great companion piece to that we're going to do some training on that, so you know exactly when this product comes out, what it does, and what you use with it. But we are going to start in January, and in a couple weeks into January, because I understand you guys have the holidays well into the second week into January. We're going to come out with a weight loss program. So we've got a lot of people on the council and some distributors, some new distributors, old distributors who have a lot of experience in teams doing this. They've done a lot of hard work, and they have just really been creative, thinking outside the box on how to do a weight loss program. They've had success already. We're going to have some great before and after pictures. So just know that this is coming. Look for that announcement. It's going to take a lot of work from here till then to make sure we have any pieces that we need with it. But I am really excited about this. Of course, January is the time for any weight loss products or program that people are going to be on. And it's just going to be not just lose the weight, but truly how to live a life of just eating better, living better, exercise. It's a whole it's your whole life in living better and obviously losing weight at the same time, and how Sisel's products can, of course, help you do that. I'm really, really excited about that. So just know our first country call that we have, it will be training on that weight loss program and the products in that. So super exciting, lots of information to come as we roll this program out, and you guys are just going to love it. So I just want you to know it's coming, kind of prepare for it. And that will be our very first country call meeting. Of course, as we get into December and we roll out that calendar, you'll know exactly what day that's going to be on. But I'm so excited about this. And I've got so many distributors that are excited about it too, that just make me, I mean, I'm loving this time in Australia right now because we've got some great things going on. And of course, with Tom Senior's support and all the great ideas that we want, he's just a green light all the way down. And it's been a lot of fun to do the things we want to do. And he loves this one as well. And I think it's just going to be a great success at such a great time. So I'm really excited, really, really, really excited. So now let's talk back orders. Dad, take it away. Okay, yeah. I'll talk back orders. One thing, and you know what, I'll unmute him so he can kind of talk whenever he wants to, but let me kind of explain what's going on, because of course nobody likes back orders. And Australia has done very well in that department for the last, and for months and months and months. And those of you who've listened to our WhatsApp call, we have had week after week after week of no back orders. It's something that we just really took seriously. We had a lot of meetings, a lot of different changes to our SOPs, and we've had a lot of success with those things. Now, things will happen. And two of those things, of course, affected Australia. Number one, balance D. Now, I've received a lot of emails from you asking, and I want to address it here so that you guys can then take this and talk to your teams. And the question is, how long do we keep orders before they're released? And we usually say if it's something that's going to be fixed relatively quickly, between 5 and 7 days, we'll hold the order. Now, the reason Balance D was held was because quite literally, Balance D has been in country for over 10 days in New Zealand. So we see the product that through the years has gone there with zero problem being held up there, and customs not getting it to our freight forwarder. And each day, we're just absolutely certain that it's just going to go the next day, because that's what it's done. There's no difficulty in the product. It's there. It's not that we're waiting for it. It's not on the water. It's not in the air. And it's been such a frustrating deal. Now, what Tom Senior has done is, of course, you know, just absolutely paved the way to make sure we have some on the boat, we have some in the air, and it's on its way. But I understand the frustration, but I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that it was just something that every single day was supposed to be something that was just released. In fact, even after we had a release from customs, it was still not then forwarded. So it was just a one-off situation that it just made it, you know, difficult to understand what was going on there. And it made us just kind of, you know, delay that for a while. So I want to apologize for you for that. This is a very popular product in Australia. So trust me, you know, we take this seriously, and it's just kind of one of those things. It's the last thing you want to hear. And when you do hear it, everybody pops into action. And there's one person that hates that word more than I do. It's Tom Senior. So just know you have his total support in making sure that we handle this situation. Now, fire and iced tea is another one that affected us, and that was a machinery problem with our sachets. Now, one of the things we've been looking into and we've talked to you on here is our desire to go to a stick sachet, and people love that. And while we have that, we haven't turned everything over to that. So we had a machine with an issue, a parts issue that everything was waiting on, and then of course that then affected Australia. So those two things coming up, not great. But like I said, Tom has definitely committed resources, inventory to make sure that we've done well there And for the past months and months, we've been able to say no back orders. So I had a lot of emails. I've had a lot of questions, and I totally get it. And Dad, you want to add anything to this at this point?
Yeah, we got kiwied.
And
so I apologize to you, but when you get kiwied, there's not a lot you can do about it. And that dang customs has been holding this up.
Yes.
And we're trying to get it through, having people to contact them. And, you know, sometimes you get somebody that perhaps even likes to be a little belligerent or make things difficult. And I don't know what it is. It might be that. But whatever it is, we've had it there for quite a while. So we had more going by sea. And so I had them fire some more off by air.
Yeah.
So we had another shipment coming in, and maybe it'd force them to putting it out. I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's no reason. They haven't notified us. It's just a matter of their internal operations, which is not operating very well, as you can see. So that being said, let's talk about, there's some big things that are happening, really significant things. And they're going to change the way that this whole company is in some ways, because we're designing what I think is absolutely the most fabulous presentation I have ever seen. And in that presentation, we're going to show you a new dimension that you'll really think if I presented it to you today, you would think it was science fiction. And it was only a few years ago, just 2 or 3 years ago, that this whole thing could not be done. It would be science fiction. But now it's scientific reality. And we've spent an enormous amount of time, an enormous amount of efforts and money to get this thing to where it can go. This thing is really super exciting. And we'll be telling you right after the first year. Yes, we got something in weight loss. But anyway, what we're going to do is, and we'll talk about some of that later. I'll give you that here in the talk today. I'm on somewhat limited time, so I'll run through this as quickly as I can. We have an absolutely amazing array of products. If I looked at my other company where I was, and many of you that were there with me, we had state-of-the-art products for that time. But times change. Science improves. The rate of scientific knowledge doubles every 5 years. So I look at it now, and the amount approximately of knowledge that's in science from when I first started, just before I first came to Australia, there's 64 times more science available today in just that short period, few decades of time, because of the advancements that are being made. And the problem is it's so new, sometimes there isn't supply, and they've conducted them in a research facility, which they get a little small amount for a big price, and they do their studies and they publish on it. They came out and said, well, that's great, but now how can we get that ingredient? So we've been going after it to get it. Now it's going to be an addition to 3 products that we already have, and those 3 products we'll talk about. And one of them is talk about, not much today, but we will then, is the age pill. And you're going to see, I'll shock you out of your gourd when you see what we're doing with the age pill. The other is TSX. I'm going to shock you out of your gourd on TSX too, with what we're doing with it. Because those great discoveries, TSX, they won 3 Nobel Prize winners on the technology that we utilized to make our product. And while nobody was really doing it because of expense and difficulty, we were doing it. Now, where it has been absolutely fantastic, it can be improved to where it becomes even more so. It works faster. It's more effective than ever before. And I've been taking it every day for years. So I'm truly excited about the technological changes that are coming there. I knew they're going to come with the age pill. We've improved the formula 4 times, but the science is so new that we've just added them as the next batch would come, and things that we're finding, because there's thousands of studies that are being done on it right now, and the total knowledge is increasing so much. Now, the biggest problem it is for me is I have to keep up with all of this. And it's pretty hard to get researchers to do it because they have more of an accounting type mentality with narrow vision. They don't see the broad spectrum the way that you need to have it and see it. So we're putting all of this together. And the other thing is these complex things have to be simple. They have to be to where you can understand them and you can talk to someone else, because this is really a business of recruiting new distributors and then training and developing them. That's the thing, but recruit, and that means lots of presentation. But the more you do, the higher percent you recruit because your ability improves with it. So the two products of the four that we're going to have that first year is the H2 TSX, and the third one we're going to talk about today, and that's the hydrogen stick, H2 stick. Now, hydrogen is a extremely new science. When just a couple of years ago or so, when we first got into this, there was 30 some studies. Now there's well over 1,000 studies, and it's growing. And so as we saw an evolutionary change came there, we moved into the hydrogen. And one of the founders of the Molecular Hydrogen Institute has become a very good friend of mine. We've done a lot of things together. He keeps me up on what's going on. And so out of that, we developed machines that we put out that can produce hydrogen. Many of you have them. I have one in my home. I leave it there all the time. People that come to my home won't drink tap water. It comes out of well, but they want it out of that machine because it just tastes even better with it. And it's diatomic hydrogen water. Now, that sounds a little odd, doesn't it? That you've got something being pushed for a whole thing like hydrogen. When you think of hydrogen, you think of the hydrogen bomb. You know, for one thing, you think of hydrogen balloons. You think of the sun. The sun is without the sun, there's no life here possible here on Earth. So what does it send to Earth to create all this life with? Well, it's mostly hydrogen it sends down. Sends some different wavelengths, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet light, things of that nature. But the reality is hydrogen the Earth is being bombarded with it. And when it hits plants, they convert it from solar energy into chemical energy. That chemical energy builds the plants. Plants die, other animals eat them, and it evolves through the whole food chain because hydrogen has an immense amount of power. But the reality of it, if you do it right, it is extremely effective. It is very safe. And it's a product that you can easily use in your lifestyle. Now, when we get done with a few things I'm going to have to, because of time, I've got my watches on, as you can see. So because of the time, we're going to have to run through a couple of these, and I'll just highlight rather than talk to them more in depth. But here's the point. Why do we need hydrogen? Because you'd be dead. You know, if our bodies could not convert hydrogen, and where is that converted from? Yeah, that's converted. The hydrogen that you need is taken in food. And much of that hydrogen is converted in the gut itself. This is why Balance D is so important, because if you've ever taken antibiotics, your whole gastrointestinal system is screwed up forever unless you fortify it with a probiotic. But probiotics are not like saying it's a car. There's different ones, different performance, and we have the highest performing one I've ever seen. And I don't know a way to make it better, but if I did, I would. When I do, I will. Those kinds of things. But the gut, the lower intestinal tract, is where the food's absorbed. It gets all chewed up in the stomach, and then it goes, and the acids break it down, and then it goes into the intestinal tract. The intestinal tract has microbes in it, and they call them good bacteria, and bad bacteria. And they have to really keep in balance if you're going to be healthy, because some of the things the bad bacteria causes a reaction from the other to make it more effective. So you're getting the hydrogen out of the food that you eat. And when it comes in, it's actually released from food in the lower intestinal tract. And so if you don't realize this, but with the food you eat, you could be producing a gallon or two every day of hydrogen water right within your own body. Now, if you take somebody like Doc Fisk, stomach like that, maybe it's 3 or 4 gallons, who knows, maybe a bucket. But anyway, with that, you have the body that is producing that, and it's taking it from fibrous food and converting. But it's not enough, because that type of hydrogen, it's hydrogen. And hydrogen is an elemental molecule or atom. The universe was created, they believe, by about 75-80% of all the universe was created by hydrogen. With it, many of the elemental ingredients that we have in the periodic scale were hydrogen that's bombarded together under certain conditions. So hydrogen has this enormous power. But what happens as we age, our body becomes worn out. We sort of rust. We're taking in oxygen, and we're metabolizing sugars by oxidation, which is like an explosion in a car engine. That explosion takes place in the cell itself, and glucose comes in, oxygen comes in, and the glucose contains hydrogen, and then a spark sets it off and it oxidizes. Now, you don't feel much, but one of the things that happens, what do you think you get such an increase in your body temperature when you exercise? It's just that you're producing a lot more hydrogen to keep up with the metabolic activity that's going on in your body. But as you get older, your systems, the stomach, our lower intestine can't convert enough hydrogen, and your cellular ability to do it, to take it, to run through the extensive number of steps, it's called Krebs cycle. I think there's about 28 steps in the Krebs cycle, or 30 maybe, to get it to the point of where hydrogen, which came from the sun at some time, which is in the food and made it all through your body, is the last step. There's a couple of minor ones that convert it, but it's the last step within the regular cells that you have in your body and your stem cells to be released, and then it creates electrical energy, and you are the body electric. So if I could put a probe on you and remove your electrical charge, you'd be a pile of ash, just like that. And so it's critical to have a lot of electrical energy. And you have a thing where you have a cell, and it's called homeostasis. And what that means is the cell is operating at a certain point, and it tries to get to optimal performance. When it's at the optimal level, you're 18 with that type of thing. And when that happens, then nothing you can do more to that to improve it, because it has to be in balance. But as you get older, those processes go down. And so it's just like a rheostat on a light bulb. If you've had one, you can have a bulb and you barely turned it on and it flickers a little bit, a little glow, and then you keep increasing it. Pretty soon it gets brighter and very bright. It's the same thing in your cells, but it's in reverse. It's very bright to start with, and then it starts going down and you're losing your luster, so to speak. So if you can fortify that system, and they found out within the body mechanisms that create energy, that are repair, regeneration, all of that, it's based on a molecule called NAD+. That plus stands for hydrogen, and it's the key. And the H pill is designed to prepare the stem cell so that it can be cleaned up. It has its own repair mechanisms, and it feeds those so they do the things that need to be done. And then the NAD can go to work to repair and generate many of the things, and to transfer on that hydrogen electron where it hands it off. And many of you know the term ATP. ATP takes it, and it goes through a process where it releases what they call biological hydrogen, and shazam, that goes to electrical energy, and you glow. The aura, you can actually photograph. It's called Kirlian photography. And I ordered a machine, but it didn't come. So I don't know. I've got to check back on it. But we're going to come around, and I hope maybe when Leisel and I come that I can bring it down. If I can, we'll show you what the body electric is like. and we'll get some of the people, and perhaps they'll have a guinea pig or two that we'll bring up, and we'll photograph the aura. I mean, like a light bulb radiates because of electricity, so do your cells. And that flickering that is coming off isn't present. You can't see it, identify it with your visible eye, but with this Kirlian photography, you can take a picture of it and do it. And you'll see that somebody, if you like you gave them the hydrogen pill, or even NAD, or Spectramax in particular too, you take any one of those, and you can take somebody's hand before they took it, and you can put it on the plate and take a photograph, and you see sparks and everything coming out from the electrical energy that's going on within your hand. But then you take these products, give us on an empty stomach, give it about 30 minutes, and you look at that hand that's just flickering, and it's going to be on fire. It'll just look like it's on fire because there's so much more electrical energy. It's coming up to homeostasis. So hydrogen is the key to that. And so as a consequence, scientists slowly started to realize it. And then science wasn't that sophisticated. Now it's becoming, it's in tune to it. So we took a look at what was happening. We had these machines that were putting out, they put out, depends on your water source and whether you filter it or not, but they put out, this is parts per million, 0.5 parts per million of hydrogen, and that will make you healthy. Now, depending on the machine, we had one that we were putting, it would consistently put out 1.0 to 1.5 ppm. That's very healthy with it. But the higher you go, the more glow you get. And so as I saw this kind of thing happening, I realized that a couple of people had been messing around with tablets and trying to get them to react to release hydrogen in the water. Concept works, but not so, that's an improvement, but it's very expensive the way they've done it. But here we sit with this big plant, we were just primed to do it. So I sat down and formulated this out so it can put an enormous amount of hydrogen into the body. I mean, huge amounts with it, so that you can just take that sachet as it's showing right there and put it in the water, and it starts reacting, and the hydrogen is being released. The oxygen is complexing with the magnesium that's in it, and it becomes ionic. So when you take H2 Stix and your diatomic hydrogen water, yeah, you get the massive power of the hydrogen, but you also get the most difficult to absorb mineral, magnesium, into your body. Everybody only gets about, somewhere around 80, they're short. If you're really healthy on a really good diet, doing supplements, you'll get about 20% of the magnesium that you need. People that aren't, they'll get probably 5% of it. What we can do with this, we have two compounds. One of them is in brain vitality with the most bioavailable form of magnesium that's possible, so it can bring it way up, and it has a great effect on brain metabolism, which the brain has an insatiable demand for magnesium, and it never has enough. So with what we're doing, we've got to where we can produce, you can take this powder, and the reason I made it in a powder, sure, you press it in a tablet, that's easy. They don't bind, they don't release well. Plus all of it that's involved with it, and I won't go through it all, but it is much more efficient because a tablet has to break down into a powder, which goes into a liquid. So we have it with that, and we've improved it now. And we're saying wait 5 to 15 minutes after you put it in your bottle of water to make it work. And now I'm telling you, hey, you can drink it in 5 because we got max release on this, and you'll have huge amounts. So we're for these other machines, the tablets, most of them I've seen are about 2.5, 2.5 to about 3.0 of hydrogen in it, which is very healthy. But we did ours, and we had a limit on what we could do to test it, but we had 15.0, and over a machine that's about 15 times more. And if it's 0.5 ppm, that's 30 times more. So, and even a tablet, this is This is about 7 times, 6, 7 times more hydrogen that's available, plus the magnesium that's out of it. You want to drink it all. I had some hydrogen water just where I started on this, and when I got done, there was a little magnesium. You'll see it in some of your bottles. And I just poured some water and swished around and drank it because it's in the very smallest size possible, ionic. So it just slips right through, goes through the blood-brain barrier, everything. And that's one of the pluses that you have with the product. Now, a lot of these things that has a tremendous effect, and because of the time, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go through a lot of those. You can see what they are here. Oxidative stress, you see there in the middle, is a primary cause of aging. You get it too, and your ability to combat it goes way, way down. But here are many of the things that it can do. And if you look down through those, how many do you want to have? Longevity, immune system, healthy heart, stamina, endurance. And do you know how great that is? I've got some studies right here, which I was going to show you, but maybe we'll put them up so you can. But there's a study in here that they did on athletes. And if you're athletic, of course, you're exercising more, you're consuming more energy, you build up more lactic acid. They have a thing called the VO2 max level. That's the highest levels that you can operate for where your body is at. And then pretty soon your muscles start getting sore and you fatigue and you run out of energy and stamina. But they find out if you take hydrogen water, you don't build up lactic acid. It converts it so fast, like low level exercise, it'll convert lactic acid so you don't really get the soreness. High level, you're going to get the soreness. But if you're on the diatomic hydrogen water, you won't get it. It just goes right through. Lactic acid doesn't form. More energies in the muscle, you actually get more performance. Your VO2 max level becomes higher. It'll go up about 20% more, and it'll last for a lot longer. And your recovery time will be 6 times faster than if you didn't use it. Those are pretty amazing things with it. So you can see this product is really quite sensational in what it can do. When you're taking the H pill, it goes through cleaning up the cell, getting rid of the cellular garbage, getting rid of the plaque, which is like plaque on your teeth, and you get plaque in the cells. It's gooey and sticky, and then it caramelizes, then it gets hard, and it just, all these organella in the cell are all working, and they get glued up, and they just start functioning not well, and they go down. So you have a glycated cell, just like if you didn't brush the plaque off your teeth, what would happen to your teeth and your gums? Pretty sure, and the same things happen in the cell. But the body has the cell has the ability to remove that if you provide specific high potency ingredients that are specific to feed the systems so they can perform at homeostasis, at the high level that they're designed to. So then after you get that cleaned up, then you're full of cellular garbage because everything that went in to build new cells, the waste, most of it leaves, some of it doesn't, and the oily ones start sticking together, and pretty soon they're so big they couldn't get out the orifice. And so then the whole cell fills up with it. Then you can't get nutrients or oxygen or biological processes going. And so the cell starts to actually crinkle and shrivel up. Well, we have the compounds that can come in there and feed the system. The body's trying to get rid of it anyway, but there are some that are very specific to these fatty molecules that they can break those down. It's like through an enzymatic attack and specific kind, but you just can't, it has to be something very specialized. We do that. That's done. Now the cell, clean as a whistle, if that's the right term, with it. Now you need to increase the NAD because it's carrying, everything is carrying that hydrogen along. Then the NAD, once it's there, hey, it can repair mutagenic damage. It can stimulate regrowth and healthier cells and all that, and it can transfer on the hydrogen. And so that's a great aspect there. And then I won't explain TSX so much, but TSX is really, it has two functions. And first of all, it's a biological it's your time clock. Number one, they can determine what your age is by the number of telomere units you have on the tips of the chromosomes in your stem cells. And so as you lose more tips every time a cell divides, the activity level of the duplication goes down slower, and slower. But if you can elongate the telomeres or keep them long, then the duplication rate is very fast. So that's the big thing there. And won 3 Nobel Prize went on that. Now we got 7 Nobel Prize winners that are endorsing NAD that's out. So we've got those two. And then here we come along with diatomic hydrogen. We weren't necessarily bringing out for that, but now the studies are here and they're even showing that when you take it and it goes through your stomach, if your body's producing all of this hydrogen, most of it gets expended within the intestinal tract. Some gets into the body, of course, but this diatomic hydrogen water doesn't have to be fermented. And it's just there and whoosh, goes right through. In 2-3 minutes, you've got it throughout your entire body, and it's doing all of this. It has tremendous amount of effect everywhere, on the brain, on the heart, on the muscles, liver, lungs, eyesight, hearing, all of those things. And what's it doing? Well, lots of things that the hydrogen itself does that they didn't know was feasible. But also on top of that, you have the hydrogen that's coming in, and it is neutralizing free radicals, the worst kind that are there. And so it also, as your NAD comes and it gives up the hydrogen molecule, if you're taking diatomic hydrogen, studies now are indicating it is recharging it. So instead of being expended, you can circle it again. So now you have more NAD going because you're producing more and you're recycling that is spent. So you can see how powerful that is. Now there's a lot of other statements there about it with weight loss, insulin, all of those types of things that you need, your metabolism. And I've got some pretty big articles here. I'll get them out to you so you can. But there's studies on old people that they have, perhaps not as old as Doc Fizz or Alan Hotero, but some older people. And what they've been doing is they've been bathing in it, and they're having tremendous skin regeneration. And you can do the same thing by spraying it on your face or using it on a mister. And in 90 days, the effects of increasing collagen and elastin and keratin production within your skin has just going up so much. And this was a test on people from 70 to like 104, I believe was the oldest person on it. That's the category. They had tremendous cellular regeneration from topical applications, soaking in a tub, putting on a mister, spraying it on, rubbing it in, all of those things. So you can see what a marvelous product it is. So unfortunately, I'm out of time today, but let me say this, one thing that's coming up. Those 3 products are pretty amazing, and they're the greatest of what we have. But I'm going to bring one out here after the first of the year. I don't know how short after. I mean, it's so advanced and so the ingredients are so difficult to get made, but we're getting it all done. We'll bring that out, and it'll be the 4th one. And I mean, these will be the 4 horsemen of the health apocalypse. They're going to go through and they're going to destroy the factors that's damaging your health, and you're going to see support on massive regeneration and energy and stamina and weight loss and health and all of those things, because this 4th one does, all 3 of them are all working that, and powerfully with the age pill, with TSX, with H2 Stix. And now there's a dimension that you don't know about. I do, but that dimension is greater than the others. So I've said with the H pill, it's the single greatest discovery in the history of human health. And I thought I will never be able to say that again. We've hit the zenith, but I will tell you, we found something that is definitely equal to it and very probably superior to it. And when you see us add that on to the tail end, these 4 big products, you're going to be really excited. And the nice thing about it, I've been working with Milo and Aaron and our creative services department here. And the concepts of what we can do are like nothing you've ever seen. You think you've died and gone to heaven when we show this presentation that you can give somebody a DVD, or you can pull them up on your phone or on your computer and see it. And it's so beautiful, so spectacular, so easy to understand. And it will take, I don't care who it is, it's going to be utterly impossible not to grow younger, in my opinion, with this system that's here. And so that's what's coming, and a few other real sneaky things. I'm working on a product for you Aussies that are down there, and we'll let the Kiwis in on it too. But this product is going to flip off the age switch in skin. Skin gets damaged, and a genetic, mutagenic, epigenetic reaction pulls it in to protect it because it's already been damaged. And what happens is that gene is there, and we've found the key to contacting that gene and switching it off so that wrinkled skin unwrinkles and comes out. And I'm trying to decide even how we're going to sell it. Are we going to put it so that literally in studies on some of these ingredients that are here, which no one's got in the marketplace yet, but the studies are 14 days. Everybody saw visible signs of change. So I'm thinking, well, how about if we are a little more cautious and say, and I don't know if we'll do this, so don't take me at this as gospel, but suppose we say, if you don't see any change in your skin within 30 days, we'll give you your money back. And we might do that for a while, because this, if a person uses it diligently and they don't get, oh, I'd like to get, I need some money for this kind of thing, and don't, those things happen. But what it is with almost everybody, it will be utterly impossible with this combination of products that we have, and particularly this one for skincare that switches off the age gene. And then wait till you see what transfusion and does it, and rapid repair and Actify 6000 and Skin Do. We're taking by far the greatest product in the history of the world for skincare, and we're putting them like on steroids for you. So that's the kind of stuff we're working on. So while Leisel's sitting around at home eating pizzas and doing little crap, I'm down here working my butt off for you. So enjoy your Christmas season. I've got to run, but enjoy your Christmas season, and I'll be really looking. I'm so cranked. Oh, and weight loss. If I told you what I knew here, and Leisel would kill me, but I know. But you know what? We never quit. We never give up, never give up. And we know what to do, and we have the desire to do it, and we're doing it because if it can be done the best, that's the only way we're going to do it. We're not going to take a minuscule amount, overhype it, underperform it. We're going to take it, and we're going to put others with it so it gets better, 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 and that's where you end up. So if you want that kind of future, hey, you caught the right train. We're on the fast track. We're going to be blazing down here after the first year. We're not going to be into longevity, into anti-aging. We've gone right past those. We're going to be on the road to immortality, and we're not going to be driving down it. We're going to be flying down that. Do you think you can live forever? No, but how close can we get you to that? Would you like to take however many years you have left in your lifespan? Suppose there's 20. Let's make it 40. How about if 120 is the new 60? How would that be? And your biological time clock says you can be to 150. And how many of you would want to do that? If I ask you right now, how many of you would like to continue at your rate of aging and live to be 120? Not many of you. Well, at least she likes being obnoxious. But anyway, for the rest of us, most of us, I wouldn't want to crumble away and get into or spend 10 or 15 years in a nursing home, batting balloons for fun and being spoon-fed and have your diaper changed, all that stuff. The reality is that doesn't have to happen. And it can be economical enough that most everyone that has an open mind and willing to try it and see will use it and do it. So we're performing with all of those things because the end result is your success, and everything that we're doing here is for you. I'm working for you. I don't need the money. And people say, why don't you retire? Hey, I'm retired. I'm doing exactly what I want. and I have more resources to do it with. So I'm dedicated. Leisel's dedicated. Our whole staff is that's here. Milo, Aaron, and our Japanese staff, our European. We are not just a company. We are a company that believes and knows and does. So that's my message today. Could get more specific, but Leisel does go on, doesn't she? I'll turn the time back over to her.
Well, wow. Seriously, Dad, you've got them all.
I'm
Okay.
fine.
Like I told you, they are loving this. If you could read all the comments, they're like, oh, love this, Tom. Love your passion. Love the integrity. So much excitement, Tom. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Can't wait. They're loving it.
Okay. Have a great Christmas and get ready to get your rear in high gear because we're going.
All right. Awesome. Well, if you have to go, you have to go. I'm going to finish up with a couple things here with these guys. So appreciate that. That was awesome. And he's just so enthusiastic in everything he does. He's literally like that. When he wants to talk to you, he's talking to me about this new product coming up there, and hopefully Milo's got the command now. But super exciting products that we've got coming for you guys. Every time that I sit here, I'm just like, please don't say too much, biting my nails. But he's fun. He's full of enthusiasm. I mean, that stupid horn he did when I walked in his office on Tuesday, and I just threw everything in the air. But he's fun to work with because he's excited. He loves products. He loves ingredients. And someone just said, Tom is living proof. He is living proof. He's got tons more enthusiasm and energy than anybody else. He's racing out the door because he's got, things to do. I wish we had a little bit more time with him, but I'll send that PowerPoint for H2 because we do have it for those of us who travel, and you guys can have it. I don't think we're going to have to do any editing on that. So I'll get you. And he did give us some great information on that. Like I said, the reason he's giving us an H2 little tutorial is because he's coming out with an ingredient or a product. It's amazing. And it really is these 4 products that work so harmoniously together, and H2 is part of that. It's just kind of his last wrap up before this thing comes out very, very soon. So let's talk about January 11th. When we've usually been going every second week. In 2 weeks, we'll have a country call of sorts. There won't be any training. So it's fun to get on and say, Merry Christmas and a few fun things like that, when I would love to have everyone on. But there is no training that's going to be on in that. And then if you look over the dates over the holidays, they're very close to Christmas and the New Year's. And I'm not, I don't need everyone to feel so worried about getting there, the day after New Year's or 2 days after that. So January 11th, mark it on your calendar. That is when we will be back with our country call. We'll have our training, and we're going to roll out our weight loss program. Super exciting. I am going to have Tom Sr. on there, and we're going to roll it out in a way where we roll out the program and then have him interspersed with the science here and there. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll put it together in what I think is just a really fun way of kind of going back and forth between a few pieces. And then we'll launch, of course, some different packs and different things that go along with that. So exciting stuff, guys. January 11th. So, and then beyond that, like I say, you can come back in 2 weeks, and I think everybody can get on and talk and wish everybody else a Merry Christmas, and then we'll close until 2020. And how awesome is that? And I'm loving these calls. We get more and more people, and we get new people. We've got new teams coming on. I always announce this on every call. I'll announce it again. If you ever have any questions, sometimes I see messages on my messenger and I just don't get there a lot. My email is lmower@sisel.net. So lmower@sisel.net. Renee, Merry Christmas to you for sure. And you're always welcome to call me. And with this program that we're rolling out, by no way are we saying, that we're done for the rest of the year. We've got so many fun things going. And like Tom says, we've got a great skincare program that we're really hoping to kind of add some amazing things. And then another product that by March that we will, and I don't know if he's coming. I tease him to come. I'm coming absolutely for sure. And I'm bringing the new product he's talking about and that he's been talking about, another one, and then of course some for the skincare. So our March tour is going to be super exciting, and we'll have product with us. So in the next, I'm hoping by probably January, maybe even before, we'll have those cities. I mean, we'll definitely have the cities decided before. When that announcement comes, though, we don't have an official get together, but I'll announce those cities, and each of those cities, we will have those products with us. So a lot of exciting training. We're going to talk about staying extra days in a couple of cities so that we can not only just have a meeting, but another day of full day training, especially with the new products and different stuff we're doing. So stick on these calls and keep in contact with us and plug in with us, because we got some exciting things going and we need you with us. So a lot of fun things, guys. Thank you for being on this call, and we'll see you in 2 weeks again, not for training, but just for a fun get together before the Christmas season. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.